Hey guys, Tyrant here, and today we're taking a look at the version 3.0 changes for the Winter Balance patch preview, starting out with the general changes and the main gun criticals. While main gun criticals are an issue in competitive play, we do not want to remove this feature entirely from company of heroes, as these can make for intense moments for the non-competitive side of play. Instead, we are reducing the chance of main gun critical to happen primarily during medium tank engagements and under attack from sources that deal 160 damage. Main gun critical now has a chance to trigger at 20% rather than 25% health. So yeah, most medium tanks in the game have 640 health and do 160 damage. So, before you take 3 shots worth of damage, you'll be at 25% and then you have a chance to get a main gun critical, which can be absolutely backbreaking, especially if it's like the first tank engagement of the game. You can just basically lose the game on the spot from those main gun critical chances. So yeah, that'll be going away now for those medium on medium engagements largely. I mean, it'll still happen every now and then if you take like a snare, you hit mines and you kind of change the health thresholds a little bit. But yeah, and just straight head-to-head medium versus medium action won't be happening as much. There's still some tanks that, fall above and below that 640 health range. Stug and the M10 down at 560. They'll still suffer main gun criticals when they are one shot from death. Or, they're like premium mediums. They're usually like 720 to like 800 health. So it's just like Sherman with a Doze Blade or T-3485. And those will also still suffer. And, anything bigger than that still suffer main gun criticals pretty handily. So, yeah, big change there, mainly to medium tank play. And looking forward to that one. Panzerfaust. To avoid accidental misclicks on ambient structures, which the Panzerfaust does barely any damage against, Panzerfaust will no longer be able to target them. The Puma aim shot and the sniper critical shot. Criticals against assault guns now inflict a minus 75% speed and rotation debuff for 5 seconds and disables the weapon rather than slowing the unit to a complete halt and cancelling orders until the debuff wears off. So yeah, kind of bring it in line with the target weak point that's on the pack. The Puma aim shot against assault guns is just absolutely backbreaking. Locks them in place. And you constantly micro them, try and get them away. Very, very strong. So yeah, now kind of bring it in line with target weak points. Top of that, the SU-76 will no longer receive engine damage from the ability in addition to being stunned. So yeah, a couple slight nerfs there to the Puma aim shot and the sniper critical. M8 Scott, the rate of fire on the M8 Barrage is being increased, proving its ability to pressure stationary targets. Barrage reload is going down by a whole second. So yeah, I did mention in my last round testing, I thought maybe you could do with a slightly higher rate of fire, and now it's getting it. So after the last round changes, now I'm curious to test the rate of fire differences between the Scott and just the regular US Forces Mortar here. I'm going to start with the Scott first, and then go for the Mortar second. Hopefully there won't be too much of a delay between the two. So the first Scott shell lands very, very fast by comparison. And it almost fires off 2 shots before the Mortar lands its first shot. And I know I did activate the Mortar second, but it wasn't too much slower. So yeah, that does bode well, like maybe you'll even be able to land like 3 shots now with the Scott Barrage at this kind of range, like 80-ish range before a team weapon can pack up or something like that. So it does make it a little bit more lethal. The M15 anti-air half-track should no longer do strange rotations when given orders to attack ground or engage units on the far left or right of its arc. Note machine guns no longer follow attack orders due to engine limitations. Interesting. So now you won't have to constantly make use of the handbrake on the A half-track. Should make it easier for players to use, but you have a little bit less control over the machine guns that it has on top of the cannon. Alright, testing out the AA half-track here. We've got a couple enemy squads in the area. So it's not firing the machine guns at all. Okay, there it is. They don't seem to be very responsive when I'm just driving around. In terms of targeting units that are kind of straight ahead in front of them. Yeah, so it's not going to fire when chasing on the move at all, is it? No, I'm not actually sure that that's a good idea. Sure, it's nice to be able to like switch from target to target without having to worry about spinning around or using attack ground and stuff like that without spinning around, but now it's barely ever going to be firing these machine guns on the move, which was a huge function of it. You kind of back up while keeping units under fire and keeping them suppressed, and that's going to be really hard to do. Like, sometimes it seems to work, and then sometimes it seems to be not so responsive. I don't know. I'm mixed on this one, because like using the handbrake is a bit of a hassle, but if it's gonna make it so much worse at firing its machine guns on the move, I don't know. It's a tough one for me. I don't know about that one. New ability, M15 anti-aircraft mode, enables the M15 to have 360-degree rotation, but cannot be ordered to attack, I think this means grounded targets, so targets on the ground. Can only engage aircraft when in this mode, places prioritize aircraft. So we did see in my last round of testing that the anti-air half-track was just terrible at tracking units. So, you know, it still performed kind of similar to the revamped quad, its anti-air performance, but now we'll be able to track them even better. Okay, we're going to take a look at the anti-aircraft mode. We've got a squad here, just so I want to see what the kind of delays would be like on it. It looks like it switches over, like instantly stops firing once you activate it. You have to deactivate it. Maybe takes about 4 seconds before it starts firing again. I've called in some sector assault planes right where the half-track is centered with AA mode on. See how it goes now. I seem to be tracking them a lot better. And leaving it on AA mode like this does kind of make sense, because, you know, usually a half-track only faces backwards because, you know, then otherwise it would shoot through where the driver is. But in AA mode, since it's only shooting upwards, you can afford to shoot over that way, I guess. Okay, so we're testing out the anti-air performance of the revised AA half-track in AA mode. From the last testing, I think it was kind of on par-ish with the flak half-track and the Soviet quad. Maybe taking like mid 45s in terms of time to shoot down all the planes. Maybe sometimes missing out on one plane. But this time, bang on 30 seconds to shoot down all 4 planes. So yeah, that seems to be performing, at least in the first test, quite a lot better than both the flak half-track and the quad. Round 2, testing the anti-air performance, starting at 25 minutes. Same test as before. Looks like the planes do sometimes vary which direction they come in maybe from, I'm not entirely sure. Two down, 20 seconds. All 3 down under 30 seconds, all 4 down rather, under 30 seconds. So yeah, if I remember rightly, the quad and the flak half-track were both more around like the mid-40s. So the A half-track is performing quite a lot better than those. And I do think especially the Soviet quad does still need a slight buff in its anti-air mode, because the Soviets don't have very many tanks with pintle upgrades. You know, they're only really available on a few commanders. So they really need the quad, I feel, to be a bit stronger than it is currently as their sole form of AA, because at the moment it seems to be lagging behind everything but the flak half-track. Soviets for conscripts. Previously, conscripts received a plus 10% accuracy bonus at Vet 3 due to their low stats and lack of upgrades. The introduction of items such as mobilized reserves and SVTs, conscripts no longer need such high bonuses to scale into the late game. So Vet 3 plus 10% accuracy bonus is being removed. And mobilized reserves munition upgrade no longer grants plus 20% vet gain. It's being moved, which we're going to cover here. Mobilized reserves global upgrade. We are decoupling this upgrade from tech. Our focus with this upgrade will be to make this a worthwhile choice for the player when deciding whether they want to rush for tanks or focus on stronger infantry game. So the tier 4 tech structure no longer grants mobilized reserves for free. Mobilized reserves now grants plus 20% veterancy gain to conscripts and penal battalions. So yeah, you don't even have to upgrade them with the 7-man conscript upgrade, and you will get the 20% vet gain once you go for mobilized reserves. So this opens up like a new strategy for Soviets, honestly, where now you have the option where you could just like rush out tier 3, go for mobilized reserves, and just start pumping up your infantry. You know, they'll start vetting up really fast, get those 7-man conscript upgrades, and maybe you'll just do that and try and stall for tier 4 from there instead of going for a tier 3 vehicle at all. So interesting options open now with this mobilized reserve change. So I suppose technically this is a nerf compared to the live version, because you know you have to pay the upgrade now, which I think was 100 manpower and 20 fuel. But will it be offset by being able to get those upgrades earlier? Time will tell, and we'll have to test those things out. Switching over to the T-34 RAM ability, due to being an iconic ability of the game, community feedback, and the role the ability plays, RAM will no longer require veterancy 1. Instead, a health requirement will stop fresh T-34-76s from being used to ram tanks and used more as a desperate act. Vet 1 requirements removed. RAM requires 50% or less health to trigger, so that could actually be quite hard to trigger it now, 50% health. And you know, it's quite common for, as you go in for the RAM, your T-34 in the live version, to take like 2 shots on its way in. So yeah, this is going to make RAM a lot harder to activate, and if you do manage to activate it, you know, you still have a pretty good chance of getting killed on your way in with the RAM. Moving on to OKW, we've got the Kubel. Following changes will make the Kubel more effective on the move, focused primarily on countering snipers. Previously, a Kubel would do almost no damage when chasing down a sniper due to its extremely high penalties on its burst duration. Kubel moving burst duration is going up from 0.1 to 0.75, so when it's moving, it's going to do much longer bursts now. But the moving cooldown is also going up. So it's going to take longer to cool down, I believe. But yeah, previously the strategy with Kubel when you're chasing a sniper is you try and like drive as close as you could to it and then hit stop and try to get a good burst on it, and then maybe like restart your movement, chase it, and hopefully you'll kill it. But maybe this will make the Kubel a bit better at chasing down snipers. Okay, try and do some hot pursuit on the sniper here with the Kubel. Okay, so from here, around here to there, so that's a very, very long way to chase it down. I mean, it was a full health, and I did that on the move the whole time, chasing in from close to max range, so yeah, it's definitely, I mean, noticeably big, but still not going to kill the sniper crazy fast. So if it's at full health on like a regular 1v1 size map, chasing it from mid-map, there's a good chance you won't get it if, yeah, it's fully healthy. But if they react to it a little bit late, if it's already at half health, the Kubel, you should be able to chase down a sniper pretty good here. Okay, so now I'm going to chase a squad from mid-map. Did take a tiny bit of damage. So yeah, not amazing there. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, if you can chase down like a maybe 1 or 2 model squad, perhaps, I mean, that's a very long way. I was chasing them much longer than most maps you'll be able to chase for. But yeah, it's made it better, noticeably better against a sniper, especially where the Kubel has accuracy bonus against the sniper. Against regular squads, maybe you have a chance of knocking off one or two models of a super low squad. The Panzer II Lux is having its detection range increased to improve its ability to hunt camouflaged infantry units and perform a basic scouting role. Camouflage detection increased from 5 to 15 range. Forward retreat point on the battle group is having its cost reduced to better reflect its current value in game. It's been reduced from 300 manpower down to 250. Moving on to the British, the Ray package is being scrapped, with focus being placed on other elements of the British arsenal to help take map control. Furthermore, their medical kits are being increased in price due to how efficient they are, while Mills bombs are having their fuse time increased to match other grenades. So Ray package is gone. You know, the upgrade didn't look, I mean, it was a promising idea, but yeah, it didn't look terribly strong in its current iteration. Grenade fuse time increased from 1 to 1.25 seconds, so I think that's the same as rifleman grenades now. And medical supplies are being increased from 30 to 45 munitions, so that's interesting. But I suppose now that Brits have, you know, a lot more options to heal, forward assembly being more accessible with medics being better, they're not quite so reliant on those med kits from infantry sections, so okay. The Vickers heavy machine gun team. The passive bonus of the Vickers is being changed to a timed ability. This should allow the Vickers Vet 1 ability to be more useful in the majority of situations. Take aim replaces Vet 1 garrison bonus, improves range by 7, accuracy by plus 15%, and penetration by 6. That's a decent chunk more penetration. Cycle a reload before activating, can be used in garrisons, 15 munitions. Okay, this sounds promising instead of just being a passive range bonus. You have to activate it now, but you're going to get some strong bonuses for the price. So here's the new Vickers Vet 1 ability, take aim. The old bonus I think was plus 15% sight range, plus 15% gun range. This one I think still provides the range, but not the sight. You see here, I activate it, improves the range, but not the sight. Got 222 out the back there. I want to see how quickly it'll take that down with the bonus penetration now. So 2 bursts does over 3/4 damage. So that is, yeah, quite strong against light armored vehicles such as that. It can be pretty tricky to get a Vickers to Vet 1 by the time 222's on the battlefield, but yeah, against lightly armored targets like that, should be quite strong, but yeah, it doesn't provide you with the bonus sight. So you might have to have something spotting for it. I want to see how fast it takes down the 222 close range on the rear armor. Still looks like it'll take 2 bursts, but yeah, that's pretty fast. So, you know, if you're trying to like evade an anti-tank gun or something, you have to drive through the arc of a take aim Vickers close range. You got to be careful, man. This thing can be pretty damn potent. Royal Engineers, sappers and the assault officer are having their capture rate increased to help UKF's map control in the later stages of the game. Its capture rate increased from 1 to 1.25. Same for the assault officer, which doesn't see too much play, but maybe this is another reason to try to get the assault officer help cap up the map a bit faster. The Cromwell is receiving a new Vet 1 ability to aid its role as a mobile tank that excels at hunting down injured or lightly armored vehicles. Vet 1 Smoke Recharge replaced with the Hunt ability detects vehicles in the fog of war up to range 60 and improves moving accuracy by 20% for 30 seconds. 30 seconds is quite a long time. 25 munitions. So here's the Cromwell new Vet 1 ability Hunt. Activated here. I've got a tank in the fog. There it is. So you can see it now on the minimap. It's detected. 25 seconds, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, it's got a bit of a lightning above it. It's supposed to have bonus accuracy right now on the move. Bonus moving accuracy. So I guess maybe if you activate it while in the chase, you might be able to get like about 3 shots off. But alright. So yeah, I mean, it was better than Smoke Recharge, so you know, that's cool. A new ability for the Cromwell. The Churchill is having its population change reverted. It has received quite a lot of buffs, so I guess worried about this being too strong now, so going back up to 19 pop cap. Quality of life, Royal Engineers, regular and recovery, the ones available through the commander, now share a single selection group. That's nice. All Panthers now share the same selection group, so I guess this is Command Panther and regular Panther, which is also nice. And Rakitten will now try to reverse up to ranges of 60. That's a long way, 60 range. Interesting change there on the Rakitten. Bug fixes. Fixed an issue where the land mattress was auto set up when enemies were in range. Fixed an issue where the Tommy scope rifle was not using proper stats. Well, it's not really relevant anymore. Fixed an issue where Guard's rifle, 120mm mortars, and the Jagdtiger call-in UI displayed incorrect population. Fixed an issue where assault grenadiers were 8 pop rather than 7. Fixed an issue where the 251 radio beacon could not be bypassed by land units. Fixed an issue where the Churchill had less gun depression than other tanks. Combined arms ability for US forces should no longer randomly trigger on certain maps when the required unit is not nearby. Fixed an issue where Stuka recon from close air support had less sight than intended. And mod bug fixes. Fixed an issue where OKW medics did not have a healing aura. Fixed an issue where the OKW Puma wreck could not be crushed. A huge thank you goes out to my Patreon backers for helping support the production of these videos.